I'd spent the last 2 years hiding in plain sight, posting tasteful, half-lit boudoir sessions to my OnlyFans under the handle at Candle Room Curtain. The page paid the rent on my cramped Chicago studio, but more importantly, it kept the spark in me alive. My real name is Tristan Marrow, but no one on the platform knew that, and I intended to keep it that way. The veil gave me courage, a silk mask, a ring light, and angles flattering enough to let desire feel like art. Hey, beautiful people watching this reading, pause for just a sec. If you're vibing with Tristan's secret double life energy, smash that like button, hit subscribe, share this with a friend who loves a good twist, and drop a comment telling us where you're tuning in from. We read every single one. Don't be the ghost viewer who leaves without saying hi. We're building something hot, and you're part of it. Speech balloon. Back to that night. Rain hammered the roof like fists on a locked door, and I was midstream, shirt unbuttoned, candles flickering, camera balanced on a stack of textbooks, when my DM alert pinged louder than usual. Unknown_user 24. Nice view, Tristan. Bet your subscribers would love to meet the man behind the mask. I shot down my spine. My stage name never included Tristan, not even once. Whoever typed that knew me off screen. I ended the feed, heart in my throat. 5 minutes later another message arrived, same sender, attaching a single frame. Me in grocery store lighting, hoodie half-zipped, real-world freckles, and all. Taken yesterday. Unknown_user 24. Click-clack, secrets cracked. Meet me tomorrow, Pier 31 noon, or everyone sees the full album. Blackmail 101. I'd always feared it. Never thought it would feel so personal. Lake Michigan was a dull sheet of lead when I got there. Noon's sun hid behind clouds, and gulls screeched like they had gossip to spread. I scanned the planks until I saw him leaning against a piling, mid-30s, auburn hair under a knit cap, suede jacket that didn't match the weather. His name, or the one he gave, was Rourke Linton. Tristan, he greeted, flicking ash from an unlit cigarette. Cute alias, Candle Room Curtain. What do you want? Angles, he said. Your angles. Every content creator has a sweet side they never show. I want yours. I want you. He slipped a thumb drive from his pocket. Return the favor, and this never goes public. I felt my pulse in my teeth. That's not how consent works. Maybe, he shrugged, but blackmail sure does. I left without shaking his hand, but not before spotting a hotel logo on his room, key dangling from his belt loop. Sable on the Navy Pier, 1504. Good to know. That night, I invited my best friend Indigo Vale, ex-cinematography major turned bartender, over for emergency strategy. Expose him first, Indy said, twirling a bar spoon like a wand. You've got better lighting. Stream him trying to shame you, flip his own camera. It felt reckless. It also felt right. Rourke wanted me performing vulnerability for his gain. I'd perform truth for my freedom. Indy loaned me his micro GoPro, and a lapel mic no bigger than a sequin. Hide it in your collar. Tilt your chin down for audio. Make sure the framing gets the threat and your refusal. Angles, baby. Room 1504 smelled like cedar and cologne. Rourke answered in a robe, feigning casual. Behind him, tripods and softbox flanked the bed. He'd set up his own little studio. You ready to earn your freedom? He purred. I swallowed nerves. Only if you're ready to be honest on camera. I palmed the GoPro remote in my pocket, double-clicked. A faint green blink confirmed live. He didn't notice. Rourke guided me to the mattress. Take off the mask. I will, I said, but you first remove yours. And I gestured to his camera. Tell the lens why you're blackmailing me. Cute. He chuckled. Okay. He turned monologuing about power dynamics and supply and demand, exactly the confession I needed. I angled my lapel mic toward him, breathing steady. Then I slipped free of my shirt, slowly. Not for him. For the audience beyond the LED. I wanted them to see fear transformed into bravery, shame into consent reclaimed. When his speech ended, I asked, Done? Done, he smirked. Now you pose. I already did. I clicked stop on the GoPro, and the whole internet heard you admit extortion. Rourke's face drained of color. You wouldn't. I smiled, sad not smug. I would, but I'd rather negotiate. I popped the thumb drive from his jacket pocket. Delete your copies, issue a public apology, and the stream stays unlisted. He stared, hands shaking, then nodded. Sometimes survival looks like mercy. If your jaw just dropped, tap that like, hit subscribe, and share this twist with a friend who loves poetic justice. Tell us your city in the comments, because bravery travels better together. Rourke kept his word. 2 days later, my handle trended for all the right reasons. Creator outsmarts blackmailer, talks safety and consent in viral live. Followers tripled. Tips poured in. Irony tasted sweet. Then came the unexpected DM. Rourke Linton, coffee? Just talk. I owe you clarity. Against Indy's advice, I agreed. Public cafe, broad daylight. Turned out Rourke hadn't planned to blackmail anyone. He'd fallen for me months earlier through the screen and panicked at the idea I was untouchable. Fear twisting into cruelty, old story. He wanted forgiveness more than romance, and I gave it, cautiously. Closure secured. I thought the chapter ended, until a subscription alert pinged with a new patron at Atlantic Sparrow. No avatar, but the first tip came with a note. Your courage lit something in me. Coffee? S. I almost ignore it, until I noticed the amount, $777.77. Too specific to be random. There's only one person I'd told that angel number meant fresh start. Indigo. My heart cartwheeled. I DM back. When and where? We met at Archer's Book Nook, a cozy Brooklyn shop with velvet chairs and flickering sconces. Indigo, hair cobalt under the warm lamplight, stood near the poetry aisle, holding a first edition of Whitman's Leaves of Grass. I never wanted to pressure you, he said, voice softer than bar chatter. But seeing you fight for yourself, it reminded me why I loved you long before the masks. My world tilted, a good tilt. I'd tasted connection through my lens, but this was something unfiltered. He handed me the book. Inside the cover he'd tucked a plane ticket and a stack of Polaroids. Us at age 19 in film club. Us last month laughing over sake. And one of me on stream, backlit in candle gold. Angles, he whispered. The world deserves to see every one of yours, Tristan, if you want to share them with me. I said yes without oxygen. We flew to Savannah, Georgia, rented a moss-draped carriage house, and began turning Indy's camera savvy and my OnlyFans following into a boutique studio, ethical, collaborative, queer-owned. Every set shot in mutual consent, every subscriber reminded of humanity behind the screen. Opening night of our new channel, we lit lanterns across the courtyard. The air smelled like magnolia and salt water. Subscribers watched in real time as Indigo adjusted focus, capturing shadows on my cheek, sweat at my collar, the pulse in my neck he knew by heart. He joined me in frame halfway through, lips brushing mine, slow, telegraphing permission. I tasted espresso and citrus chapstick. I tasted belonging. We didn't need explicit motions to ignite the chat feed. The tenderness was flame enough. He laid me back on a quilt, bodies pressed like two verses of the same poem. Fingers traced lines over ribs, thighs, shoulders, scripture written in skin. Our audience witnessed intimacy, not pornography. Soft gasps, whispered names, the quiet rhythm of devotion. When we reached crescendo, Indigo cradled my face, staring into me like a future. I exhaled his name, and comments flooded with heart emojis and tear emojis, and this is love in a dozen languages. Months later, a silver play button arrived from YouTube. Our behind-the-scenes vlog channel had passed 100K subscribers. We mounted it above the studio door next to a mirror etched with Indy's motto, "Honesty is the best angle." I still stream solo sometimes, Reader's Choice evenings with nylon robes and sultry jazz, but Indigo is always behind the lens, fingertips brushing my spine between takes, silent reminder that exposure means little without arms to fall into afterward. The old fear flickers now and again, memory of threat in a DM box, but love is a brighter ring light. And when doubt creeps near, Indy lifts the camera, frames me gentle, and says, "Show them who you are." I do. And the chat does what chats do. Heart emojis, fire emojis, the world cheering two men who turned blackmail into blueprint, desire into devotion. Under every upload, we pin the same call to action. Like, share, subscribe, and tell us where you're watching from, because brave love looks different in every city, but it shines the same online. On our 1-year anniversary, we returned to Lake Michigan, found the pier where everything began. Gull cries, lead gray water, but this time sunshine cut through. Indigo filmed me skipping a piece of green sea glass across the waves. Angles, he asked. Wings, I corrected, tossing the last shard high, so it caught the sun. Because sometimes the pieces that once threatened to cut you become prisms instead, bending light, scattering color, reminding the world you survived your own exposure. And at night, when subscribers sign off and the ring light cools, Indigo pulls me close, voice husky with gratitude. Thank you for waiting. I answer the same every time, lips to his pulse. Thank you for seeing. The bed creaks softly as we meet. No cameras, no audience, just the hush of cotton and breath. Love moves slow, deep, and sure, painting new angles on walls. Angles that need no exposure because they already feel like home. Still here? Don't forget to tap that like, share this story with a friend who loves bold romance, smash subscribe, and tell us your city in the comments. Your support keeps us creating the content that reminds everyone, love, consent, and courage always trend.